Hi everyone, I hope life is treating you kindly. I'm Lubomira and welcome to all my crafty friends, new and returning. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is day 5 of the holiday card series. If you've missed any of the previous videos, I'll link them in the description below so you don't miss out on any of the crafty goodness. So my area of New York has had some pretty crazy things happening. Earlier this month, we had some terrible drought conditions, still do for that matter, and that led to a forest fire breaking out in one of our state parks nearby. Now, I'm not directly in the area of the fire, but I'm close enough to have seen and smelled smoke several times this month. It's a pretty huge area being affected, over 5,000 acres. Needless to say, we needed rain desperately. Well, Mother Nature felt like decorating for Christmas early, and the rain we were supposed to get actually turned into snow. So I spent the morning clearing snow off the car, and now I'm hiding in my craft room, warm and dry, and hoping I won't be recruited into another snow clearing session. We haven't had snow this early in the season for some time, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. It looks nice in a Hallmark Christmas movie, but it's an entirely different experience having to clear it. Now, the other crazy thing is the temperature is predicted to go back up to 50 by the beginning of next week. Winter one day and spring the next. What are you gonna do? Anyway, moving back to the crafting. Today's card has a non-traditional color palette with some pretty snow-covered die-cut trees. We'll also be using some of those scrap paper patterns we've all been hoarding and wondering what to do with. I'm excited to show you this card, so let's get into the video. To start off this card, I did some mass sentiment production. I used the Spellbinders Christmas die and Glimmer Etched die set to create a number of different greetings. What's interesting about this set is that each sentiment is essentially broken down into 3 parts: the foil plate, a shadow die, and a dainty word die. When you put them together, they form a really pretty multi-dimensional sentiment. And this card is all about dimension today. Now, as I have mentioned, when I create these, I usually do several different foil finishes on both black and white cardstock to have them ready to go when I need them. It saves me the time of having to set up the glimmer and go through all the effort to get one sentiment. So if you're seeing me create a greeting on black cardstock with gold foil, when the finished card has a white greeting with holographic foil, it's just because I do them in much the same way and I just filmed myself. I prefer hot foiling first, but I suppose you could do the die cutting first as well and then hold the foil plates in place with tape to make sure everything stays put and is aligned. By foiling first, the important thing is placement and remembering that there is a shadow die that cuts everything out. It's not like a regular strip die that you can place one sentiment under another with a little room. You have to take into account the shadow and how it will cut out the word in relationship to the other plates you're placing. I like to place all the hot foil plates with the dies around them on the heating platform to make sure everything fits, and then remove the dies, careful not to move the plates too much. After that, the process is the same as you would do when foiling any other plates using the glimmer. I place the foil over the plates shiny side down, then I put my cardstock over the foil and sandwich everything down with the protective glimmer plates. I wait for the indicator light to let me know when the platform is hot enough, and then I run the platform with all the layers on top of it through my die cut machine. If I have some overfoiling around the foiled greetings, I use an eraser to rub away the excess. For those more stubborn areas, I use a sand eraser and very gently remove any remaining foil. After I'm done, I place the metal dies around the foiled sentiments, hold them in place with low-tack tape, and again run them through the die cut machine. The only part of the sentiment I don't create right away is the dainty word die. I leave that for later to coordinate with the colors in the card I'm making. Other than that, they are ready to go. To create a colorful background, I used a number of scrap pieces of paper I had from 2 scrapbook.com paper packs, one from the Mary Pattern Collection and the other from the Peppermint Pad. I also added some white glitter cardstock. I created strips of various widths using my trimmer. Some of the paper have larger patterns, so I created wider strips to better capture the design.
I'm locked inside tonight, but my heart is somewhere else. I'm thinking of you, babe, and all your crazy ways. I miss you more right now. It must be these holidays.
Once I had the strips, I arranged them diagonally across the front of a standard panel and attached them to the panel using foam tape and glue. I used my grid mat to help me align the strips straight, and to keep the spacing consistent, I used one of the narrow strips as a guide. When I was done, I trimmed any overhang using large scissors.
On my mind, Merry Christmas from a distance. I wish you were here tonight. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I got you on my mind. Merry Christmas from a distance. I wish you were here tonight. Oh, what I'd give to have you here, my dear. We could sing and laugh about our wonderful year. I can see it now, yeah, your lips stained from the wine, and that sweet smile you have, your hand in mine. You know you're my
I next worked on the focal elements of my card. Now, to pick my focal elements, I honed in on the designs on the pattern paper in the background strips and decided to use some simple trees because one of the strips had some very rudimentary triangle Christmas trees. I had a few options to choose from. Candy canes would have been fun. I could have used presents and even holly leaves with berries. Basically, if you're unsure about what to choose for your focal, you can always go back to the paper and see if you can pull anything from those designs. It will create a nice continual and cohesive look to your card. You of course don't have to do this. Another way to create that same feel without using matching themes from the paper is by incorporating similar colors. Either option will work beautifully. I actually combined both things for my card, theme and color palette. Using the Trio Tree die set from Echo Park, I die cut all the pieces from scrap cardstock. I coordinated colors pink, red, and white glitter cardstock to match the strip panels I had made earlier. The pieces were fairly easy to place, and I used the picture on the packaging of the die to be my guide.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I got you on my mind. Merry Christmas from a distance. I wish you were here tonight. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
For the front of the card, I die cut two smaller scalloped panels, one from vellum and one from white cardstock, to layer on top of each other. These would serve as the foundation for the main focal point. To add a little bit more stability, I die cut a second white cardstock panel and layered it with the first. I then attached the piece to the vellum panel using foam squares. After that, I placed the layered scallop panel in the middle of the card front using foam squares. I glued down the taller trees directly to the panel and popped up the third tree in front of the other two. After finishing all the layers, I attached the card front to a white card base using liquid glue.
Do you think that Santa celebrates Halloween? Or do you think that Santa celebrates Halloween? Does he watch scary movies or they give him bad dreams? Would he dress like the Grinch to go trick or treat? Do you think?
Off camera, I finished the Spellbinders sentiment, Making Spirits Bright, that I had started earlier. I die cut the final word out of red cardstock and glued it to the shadow strip. To finish the card, I attached the greeting to the front using foam squares. I had to add multiple layers of foam to level the greeting since this card had several layers of dimension.
Celebrates Thanksgiving. Would he eat 7 plates of turkey with stuffing? Take an afternoon nap while football's on TV.
Touchdown!
Do you think that Santa celebrates Thanksgiving.
Of course, he's Santa Claus.
And that's it for this card. This was a fun card to make. It turned out to be very cheerful, and by pulling different products, it formed a cohesive look that actually looked like it came from a single line rather than multiple companies. Overall, I'm really happy how this card came out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today for this 5th day of the holiday card series. I had a really amazing time sharing this project with you. I hope you enjoyed it too. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, leave me those comments below. I'm always excited to see what you have to say. I hope you'll join me next time for day 6 of this holiday card series. Until then, have an amazing night, and I hope life treats you kindly. See you tomorrow. Bye.